Welcome to the Rays Out of the Park Let's Play series. If you're not familiar with Out of the Park Baseball, get familiar. We're going to be posting it a lot here. I'm doing a playthrough. I'm starting up with the Tampa Bay Rays, and I'm going to jump right into it. First of all, start with why I picked the Tampa Bay Rays. In short, budget wise, they have an $150 million budget. That's including like draft picks and all that stuff. So it is a pretty tough challenge to do roster wise. You can see here league rank. They're okay in some spots, they're poor in some spots. We'll get into that a bit more specifically, but also on top of that, um, you know, prospect wise, they're not super strong. They have the 25th ranked system in all of baseball. Yeah, we'll start with a meet the team sort of things. I have, made the lineup and rotation in the opening day roster for what I want. Kevin Lux is going to be our leadoff hitter. He'll be playing second base. He's okay. He's filling a gap. He's got a 1 year deal. He's probably somebody who we're going to be potentially trading, at deadline time. Junior Caminero, I will say this, we are prioritizing keeping Junior Caminero around long term. I've thought about what an extension might look like for him. That's probably a next episode type of thing, but we're going to try to get it done as soon as possible. He'll be hitting second and playing third base for us. Jonathan Aranda, platoon demon. He's our first baseman. He's a good, talented player. He'll be here for a little bit. 27 years old, is a little on the older side for a league minimum player, but we'll make it work. Yandy Diaz, last season, I believe, of team control. There's another very cost controlled option after this for 10 million. But yeah, he's a good first baseman. He can hit for us. We'll see how long he's here. If he's here for the long run or if he's gone at the deadline. We're not exactly sure just yet. Um, we'll go back to our lineups. Jacob Melton, big prospect, came over in the Brandon Lau trade in the offseason. Yeah, he's a competent center field defender. We're going to have him playing right field. Bat looks like it could be really good if he can just avoid striking out. He can steal bases as well for us. So he's going to hopefully be an interesting player. Carson Williams, he's going to get the shot at the start of the season. I don't necessarily see him as like a lockdown pure full-time shortstop like he is in real life. But he's got good power. He's going to strike out a ton. The defense is going to be good enough. So we'll see what we can get out of Carson Williams. I wouldn't say he's a long-term untouchable piece like maybe you would have thought of him a while ago. Cedric Mullins, similar to Gavin Lux, is on a 1 year stopgap type deal, and especially at the center field position we have a ton of guys in our farm system that are somewhat interesting. Hunter Faduka, he's a platoon catcher. Yeah, the catching position is really poor here in Tampa. Chandler Simpson, he's on the big league roster for me. He's a fine enough defensive outfielder. He's got a ton of speed. He's going to be hitting towards the bottom of the lineup just because I'm kind of concerned he's not going to get on base enough. But if he does, he's a big piece. Ryan Vlade, right-handed bat off the bench. It's fine. We kind of needed a righty up because our other outfielders, Jake Fraley, and if you didn't realize, Simpson, Cedric Mullins, and Jacob Melton are all left-handed on top of Fraley. Like, we have a bunch of righties, but we'll learn how to make it work. Ben Williamson's also on the roster as kind of our, backup infield option. He can play short, he can play second, he can play third. All look pretty decent for him, honestly. And then Nick Fortes is the other side of a catching platoon with Hunter Faduka. It's a really rough position. Rotation, we're going to have McClanahan. We'll have Rasmussen, Steven Matz, Ryan Pepiot, and Nick Martinez. I believe Rasmussen has 1 more year. McClanahan has 1 more year after this. Steven Matz just signed a multi-year deal. Nick Martinez just signed a 1 year deal with the team. I know a 2 year deal. Geez, okay, I am not gonna accept that more likely than not. And then Pepio has a couple more years. We'll see how that goes. Griffin Jacks is our closer. Garrett Clevenger and Brian Baker are kind of our setup guys, and then we have some relievers. Joe Boyle's the guy who can start games. We'll see if that ends up being something for us. Um, Another interesting part to consider early on is we have our prospects. We'll start with like our starting prospects. Michael Ferret, he was in the Shane Baz trade. It looks like he could be a good big league starter. Not like super high upside, but he could be solid. He's in AAA right now. I would assume he's a year or so away. Brody Hopkins, he's like their top upside starting pitcher. Good stuff, good movement. Control will be good enough. I'm excited for him. He probably is going to be a front of the line guy. He's 24. He's almost big league ready. TJ Nichols is here too. Good stuff, but we'll have to see how everything plays out if he gives up too much hard contact or not. Santiago Suarez, he's also in AAA. Is that right? I want him in AA. Yeah, he's there. He throws a ton of strikes. We'll see how he develops. Jacob Walters, another older guy who's in AA. It could be okay. Anderson Brito is a really fun prospect. He came over in the Brandon Lau deal as well. It could be a real piece for us, like a front of the rotation arm, with his stuff potential. Trevor Harrison, Jacob Hartley. These are kind of just guys who I could see being major leaguers. Jose Urbina, I think, could actually be a really good big leaguer at some point. Stuff looks potentially awesome. We'll see how that goes. And then Mason Nichols, another guy who could be a big league starter. I don't. We had Caden Bodine as our only catcher. Again, a part of the Shane Baz deal. Really good. He'll be an A ball. Switching in catcher is always interesting. Infielders, Jadair Rainmo. I actually don't know what deal this was. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was a Brewers prospect before. I don't know what deal. This might actually for Danny Jansen and cash. Wow, that's kind of a steal. I like that. He's not really a guy with a position, but he's like Chandler Simpson in the infield. Not as quick, but it's something. Trey Morgan, I would assume won't be up until Yandy Diaz gets dealt, but first baseman, contact oriented bat, can play good defense. That's fun. Adrian Santana, potential Gold Glover at shortstop, switch hitter, bat might be okay. Theo Gillen is really awesome. Is he ready to go to high A? Yeah, we're gonna keep him. Well, his power's good enough. Yeah, we'll send him to high A. 20 years old. That's fine. Yeah, he can play infield. He can play outfield. I would say he's probably more of like a second baseman, like backup center fielder. But he looks like he could be pretty good, like really good actually. I'm excited for Theo Gillen, and then Daniel Pierce. Yeah, could be a legit shortstop. Bat could be good. I think I want him in A ball. Yeah, I'm gonna want him in A ball. I just went through and added all the guys. Jacob Melton is in the big leagues. We'll see how long he sticks up. Homer Bush could be a guy who comes up 70 outfield range. We're probably going to need Mullins to call up him or Victor Mesa Jr., who are both left-handed center fielders. Victor Mesa Jr. is also pretty good. Xavier Isaac, more of a high, volatility power hitter. He could be somewhat interesting. We'll see. Aiden Smith, yeah, as you can see, we have a ton of center field options, which is why I wasn't too committal to Cedric Mullins and why I have Jacob Melton playing right field. And then, yeah, Brendan Summerhill, I think, is probably the best of all of our outfield prospects. It could be a 55 contact, 55 eye, 70 defense and center. That's really valuable. And we have a ton of these guys. And then Marshall Toole as well is a legit center fielder as well. But Bryler Guerrero, more of a corner outfield power upside bat. He's going to strike out a ton. Him and Xavier Isaac are honestly pretty similar. And then Slater DeBrun, I didn't include him with that other group of guys because he's a lot further away. He's not even going to play A ball at the start of the year for us, but he is by far the best. But he's, Summerhill is probably a year away from the show. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at. You kind of got to meet the team, you got to meet the prospects. We might go through opening day, honestly. I'm not too. We'll have some decent pacing. I don't want this to be forever. We might get through some time, but I'll probably play a week or so on my own, but we'll go through opening day. We'll also have to see like if anything crazy happens. Um, yeah, we finished a scouting trip. Dean Moss, this is actually somebody who I will want to control. He could be a corner infielder, outfielder, bat. Yeah, we'll control him and we'll send him to A ball. Yeah, left-handed hitter. It could be 55 power and eye with a good contact rating. For Fleming, this is a fun guy. More of a second or third baseman, um, but he's got a good bat upside. He'll be up, and he's almost 20. Yeah, he'll go to A ball as well. And I want him playing second base at A ball. And then we got a Pepio scouting report, which is nice. Yeah, so opening day, we are facing Matthew Liberatore and the St. Louis Cardinals. Shane McClanahan is our ace. He's on the hill for this game. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see how this goes. And we collect an opening day 1-0 extra inning win. But yeah, we barely did anything. Brennan Williamson. Yeah, so against lefties, we're sitting Aranda and have Junior DHing just to save his legs a little bit. Williamson had an RBI, the solo RBI of the game on a 10th inning double. Nice. McClanahan, 5 2/3 shutout innings. Joe Boyle got a bunch of outs behind him, Clevenger and Jax. Okay. Taylon Gray. Okay, this is a fun catching prospect. Might not actually stick at the catcher position. This is, I'm slowly still getting reports on our guys, but power upside, it's fun. Fine, we'll just have his report. Nate Knowles, yeah, another guy who it's good to have him in the organization. He'll be above rookie ball. We'll send him to high A. Yep, glad we got Hayes scattering report. Michael Court. Yeah, again, like these guys who can play center field for us, we just have so many of them. We'll keep our eyes on him, but uh, a lot since we have so many of these guys, they're all like pretty replaceable. Here's a fun prospect, Victor Valdez. He's in the DSL. I might honestly him in the area. Yeah, I'm gonna bring him stateside to America. Uh, to play in our rookie ball on our rookie ball team because he's fun. He could be a like plus defensive second or third baseman with a 55 power. That's good. And then Emmanuel Hernandez. This is a fun pitching prospect right here. 55 stuff. He's got 4 potential plus pitches, potential, plus velocity. Yeah, thank you. He'll be stateside as well, unless um, his wife, yeah, so he should be good in the ACL. Send him to our rookie league team. So glad we could get the opening day win. I guess I'll talk more on like the strategy that I'm imposing here. We're going to do our best to win games, but if things are not going well, we have Drew Rasmussen here. starting against Dustin May for the Cardinals. Yeah, if things aren't going well, we're not going to force anything. We'll probably trade off. Regardless, we'll probably trade off some of our. And I entered the highlights once again. Okay, gonna have to get used to that. Regardless, we're gonna probably trade away some of our like expiring deals at this year's deadline. Yandy Diaz had a two-hit game. So did Cedric Mullins. Nice. He got caught stealing though. Honestly, a good start from Rasmussen, but we do get the loss. And Lamar Grasses, he's interesting. We'll add him. I think he's just going to go to the Florida Coast League. Yeah, not going any higher than that. And then, yeah, we got an updated report on Brandon Williamson. Yeah, he might be a better shortstop than Carson Williams, and that's we're a little scared if that's the case. Steven Matz against Kyle Leahy for the third game here. I'm gonna play this opening series and then get a couple weeks in and I'll give an update on how things go. Of course, I've entered the thing once again. Box score. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to that. Lux and Junior both had big games. Finally, we've seen something happen. Jacob Melton went into play center later in the game. Fraley pinch ran for Mullins. Was Mullins hurt? Okay, yep, he got hurt. So we'll see how that goes. Steven Matz, honestly, good starts from our starting pitching for the opening series. We win 2 of 3. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'll play another week or so, give an update, and we'll move forward with how things are going. All right, here we sit on April 20th. Happy 420 for those who partake. As it currently stands, we're 11-10. We're sitting around 500, but I believe we're on like a 6-game losing streak. As it currently stands, I think if we look at the schedule, yeah, we're on a 5-game losing streak. Yeah, we started the season really well. I think we won the opening day series or the opening week series, and I believe we won 2 of 3. Against Milwaukee, yes, we did. And then, we won 2 of 3 against Minnesota, swept Chicago. It was a solid, start, but then things kind of, the starting pitching was a little bit worse over this last stretch. We really got killed by Pittsburgh's pitching. Like we faced Skeens, we faced Maszynski in the last game, which we probably should have done better on. But yeah, they really shut us down throughout that series. As it currently stands, we've had 3 hitters hit really well to start the season. Gavin Lux has been really good. Caminero has been awesome. More news on him in a second. And then Jonathan Aranda has been really good to start the season. Prospect-wise, at the very end, I mentioned what's his name? Cedric Mullins had a pending injury. He's out for a good bit of time. We have brought up Homer Bush Jr. Because he can play center field and he's a righty. I mentioned before that we kind of need a right-handed hitter. We'll see what he ends up like if he ends up sticking around for us. But like guys, it's like 60 contact with 70 range. That's gonna work in center field. Melton, Williamson, they all had their flashes so far to start the season, but nothing's really stuck. Same with Chandler Simpson. Yeah, like just not as much. I need to add average and like on base to this. I don't know how I forgot to do that. But yeah, it's just been a so start. I mentioned Junior. We gave him a long-term extension. He's on base for 30 home runs, 40 doubles. But as you can see, 2033 free agent. That is because I gave him a 7-year, $142 million extension. Now that might sound a little bit low, but he was still going to make minimum in 27, and he's going to be arbitration for 8, 9, and 30. But out 3 years of team control, guaranteed him 140 million. He'll still hit the open market at 30 years old, which should be decent for him. This is a little bit more than like the Connor Griffin deal that was just signed. So I was like, okay, this is not crazy, but it's somewhat realistic. for a guy who's still got time as a league minimum player. Yeah, we're gonna hope that he breaks franchise records for us, and I figured we should get it done sooner rather than later before he got way too expensive. 23 million is something that we can handle with our budgeting. 30 million, probably not. Pitching wise, Clanahan's been off to a good start. Pepio had three horrendous starts actually to start the season. He had 6 earned runs in his first 2 starts, and then a 5 earned run performance. Finally had a good one, but we'll see how that ends up working out. Madsen, Rasmussen, and Martinez have been serviceable, and the bullpen's been really good for us. But yeah, outside of McClanahan, not a ton has gone well pitching wise, or rotation wise. I think the team's in about the spot that I expected them to be at this point in the season. I wasn't expecting anything super awesome necessarily, but I'm glad that we got the junior extension done. Next episode, I'll probably pick up right at this point, or maybe I'll play a little bit and then start the next episode. Not sure just yet. And then we'll probably get to the first year player draft in next episode. And yeah, we're already making some good time here on this Rays sim. I'm excited, and I'm glad to finally be putting out these OTP videos.